What if I told you the way it has always been done is not the best way? Facing your fears will change your life. The passion behind this journey is merging two separate worlds into one with the goal of creating value and awareness for a better life.
I'd rather be sidelined trying to achieve greatness than watch greatness achieved and it only set on the sideline. Now introducing your host, Jacob Emery.
This episode is brought to you by R&R Pipeline, an infrastructure company. Our purpose? Enhancing America's infrastructure with a safety-driven, integrity-led culture that provides an environment for team members to grow and thrive. We have to have a belief system. You have to believe in something that you cannot feel. You have to be able to see it, visualize it. And as we get older, we understand that. And what happens, at least in my experience, when we start to be able to see something, but we can't feel it, we can't hardly explain it, it becomes very powerful. And it can go two ways. You can either have faith that whatever you see becomes a reality for the better or for the worse. Whenever you visualize something that you can't feel, you can't touch, you can't even explain, but you just know, it's either led by faith or by fear. Not being able to feel it, explain it hardly, but knowing that it's going to happen. Seeing a bigger vision for yourself and the people on your team. Having faith that it will happen. Making decisions out of faith for the better. Thinking with a greater good in mind at first. Faith-driven decisions. Based on your values, your morals, what your main focus is. It becomes a complete different life. But so does fear. Make a decision out of fear. And you're reactionary. You're uncertain. Lack confidence. Having faith and making decisions based on that and having fear and doing the same thing can really take you into different places in life. And the one step in the right direction on faith, the journey to 1,000 miles starts with one step. The first step. Take that first step based on faith to overcome the fear. Being fearful is part of the journey. I'm fearful often, but don't be afraid. If you're afraid, you will likely not keep going forward when it gets hard. You will likely lose the faith. So push for it. Go after it. Have faith. Make decisions based out of faith with confidence. And don't be fearful, because the reality is either one's going to come, and most likely both will come at the same time, where you're faced with this ultimate choice. Faith and fear right in front of you. Which one do you pick? Being fearful is actually easier. Being afraid is actually easier, because 99% of the people react out of fear and they don't get what they want. So you just become part of the crowd. But the 1% of people that have faith in their vision, that have faith in what their conviction is, and they operate regardless of the fear. They're fearful. I'm fearful, but I have faith. And I'll be damned if anyone stops that. What do you do when it gets the hardest? Tell me who you are in the last 30 seconds of a 12-round boxing match when you've been beat up for 11 and a half rounds and there's 30 seconds left. What do you do? How do you react to that adversity? A lot of people think we need to go faster, better, quicker, stronger. But I've come to realize that it's oftentimes better to go slow, but not operate slow or move slow. It's efficiency. It's being smooth. Because ultimately, to me, slow is smooth. Smooth is fast. If you're constantly going fast, going back and refixing your mess ups, redoing whatever you started with, just do it right the first time. Slow is smooth. Smooth is fast. And whenever you have faith, just know that it's going to work out, and it will. No matter how it's meant to. Lead with faith and not fear. And no matter what happens, your outcome, you can live with it. Every outcome that I have, I live with because I have faith that I did everything I could, that I was making the right choices with the information I had at the time. And regardless of what it actually becomes, I feel like the outcome's going to be good. And even when it's not desirable, it still becomes good because that's what I thought it was going to be. If I see a bad outcome and only know a bad outcome, it's going to be a bad one. But there's also this point in time where you see a bad outcome and you can't get past it. Or you have this gut instinct that this thing is not going to be what you think it should. Or this person isn't the person that you feel like they should be. And you want to believe they're not that person. But ultimately, people show you they are. Circumstances do not turn out as desired, and it's part of life. So when you just take the emotional side and cut it off for a little bit and think with logic, what are the facts? What's the realization that you just had that can factually tell you what you need to know? Have faith in your gut. Don't let your gut guide you with fear. Have faith in what your gut is telling you. We gain experience over time, and good judgment comes from experience. But bad judgment is what ultimately creates experience to get good judgment. We don't make good judgment from day one. Good judgment comes from bad experiences, bad judgment. You learn from it when you don't make the same mistake twice. Learning is being in the same situation and not doing the same thing last time that you did that didn't get you the desired outcome. Have faith in what you're doing. Have a conviction. All in on that conviction. Don't lead with fear, because if you lead with fear, you will not be able to go all in. Every time I've ever made decisions out of fear, I drastically underestimated my ability, my team's ability, my network, everyone that I care about deeply. I underestimated it. And the fear-based decisions will drive you into a hole that you barely get out of sometimes. So the best way to get out of the hole, put down the damn shovel, jump out of it, fill that hole back in, and keep pushing forward. Faith over fear. You can't feel them, neither one, but you can see them. Both have a profound impact. Choose the positive one and have faith.